And here we are.
Yes, hello everyone.
We started.
We've made it to yet another episode. I think, what's this, number 3? Yoga's managed to last the entire casting of all these podcasts. No one else has.
Everyone else has died.
But we've finally been joined by the one and only Al Molloy. I've only been trying to get him on a podcast since the fucking first podcast.
We remember the first one. We waited like an hour or so just for him to come in, and he never woke up or anything. It was
well, you know, I never gave you any guarantees. Look, okay, so
and that is true. Like, you can't give him like a lot of flack for it, you know.
I was actually hoping you to say yes, you did, because I thought I probably did. But then you were like, yeah, it's true. I was like, I'll just maybe sound like a prima donna there. Like, oh, I didn't give any guarantees. Like, so, yeah. But no, I'm happy to be here. It's the two podcasts that I've listened to / watched before were a lot of fun. So hopefully this will be just as fun.
Fingers crossed.
It'll be relaxed, probably on the shorter end of things. So
because
grab yourself a drink. We're bringing back the Spyro Jam vibes. Grab yourself a drink. Get ready.
Yep.
I've only got water this morning because I've only been up for
take a sip. Take a sip, Al. Trust us, it's important.
It's empty, but yeah, I can't.
Do it anyway.
But you know what?
I'll take it. Video.
I'll go get some water. You keep it rolling, okay?
Just the typical Al fashion. He's gonna be able to hear us. So just start. Let's just start how we would.
I can't believe this.
So welcome to the ISG podcast. Number 3, as you said. Yes. I have to remind myself.
The ISG podcast. Today we actually have some stuff we can talk about because we've had, since the last podcast, we've had the King of Spyro Style, and if we have an event, what else does that we have? We have a Road to King of Spyro Style. Yeah. So we had a back-to-back and just jam-packed full of different races. So I don't know, do we wait for him to come back before we start?
Well, he's coming. I think I heard him. Yes!
Yeah, timed that well. So, we had 3 races on Road to King of Spyro Style. Let's see here.
We were a hydrated legend.
Yeah, that's it. You got to keep hydrated. Yeah, it's very important.
Stay hydrated, everybody. Stay hydrated.
Carrying mode is to finish this 1.5 liter bottle of water by the time we finish this.
Oh my god, Skull.
Yeah.
He's going to have to piss all night.
Fun fact about the Poisani versus Golden Lovers race in ISGP World Tag League is that I had one of these next to me, and like towards the end of that race, all gone. Like, I was so like nervous.
You were downing it.
I just gulped the entire thing without even meaning to. But yes.
There you go. There's some
so we had 3 races. 3 races for Road to King of Spyro Style. And I'm blind, so please read them out immediately.
So we started with the four-way match. So that was Luke RF44, Marcus Terry Bedford, Lucas Bolton, and Mr. Game Sender. Yeah, Marcus Bolton. I've combined the 2. In my defense, I've been awake for less than an hour. It is currently 7:50 a.m.
Give her a break.
I'm committed to my art. I'm committed to this podcast. So we had
like Lucas with Marcus's hair. Sorry, continue. That'd be awesome.
So that was a 4-way match, and they did a classic Sendy Wheel of Fortune. Luke RF44 did come out the victor against his other 3 friends, so that was an interesting one. I love a good Sendy Wheel of Fortune, and I will refuse to acknowledge it by any other name. It is only the game Sendy Wheel of Fortune, and I will not hear anything else.
Y'all remember when everybody was so against doing it for some reason, and now everyone's like, you know what, we need some more Game Sendy Wheel of Fortunes around? Because I think it was ISGP2 where people were like, this is too complicated or something.
I think it's a great concept, but in terms of like video-wise, like, it's hard to fit, especially 4 different people's gameplay, and then a wheel that's like coherent enough that you can actually see what's on the wheel. Like, that can get a bit hard, but it worked. The video's up. Luke won. It's all up and ready to go. So that was a good one. Went for about 45 minutes, which is I think it's a good time for a match. Like, you don't want it too short. 45 is good for a Wheel of Fortune, I reckon.
Game Cindy Wheel of Fortune. Only that name. I remember someone tried to like not call it that, and I was very animatedly like, "No, it's the Game Cindy Wheel of Fortune." Like, you don't understand. Ireland doesn't have much. This is one of our things we have. Okay,
Ireland does in fact have the Game Cindy Wheel of Fortune. Don't take this from us.
Yes, we do. Yeah.
The only thing that's coming home to Ireland is the Game Cindy Wheel of Fortune.
Genuinely, yeah. Pitfall in other sports. But,
we had match 2, which was a tag team match, which was Artisan Destroyers, formerly known as God's Chosen People. And
they're the Artisans Enjoyers, excuse me, not the Destroyers. So they are the destroyers of the Artisan home turf. So,
but they destroy, but they enjoy more. So Artisan Enjoyers, and versus the rest of Angus's family, we had Liam, TBH, and Meteoriga.
That's awesome. I love what
To be fair, you could also call them the Artisan's Destroyer because they did win. So.
No, they didn't.
Didn't they?
No, Artisan Enjoyers won.
Oh, they did. Yeah, no, that's what I said. I said the Artisan. You could call them the Artisan Destroyers because they beat.
I thought because they'd moved on from Artisan Enjoyers that you were like, you know what, the other half could be the Destroyers. No, so
No. The Artisan Enjoyers won.
They did win. I was gonna say it's a surprising victory, but it kind of wasn't because you didn't really know where either of them was. But I guess it's really solidified that Fromond is good at Spyro now. He really pulled through.
Yeah,
he did. He was genuinely good, and like Liam is someone who had. Once upon a time, had a lot of skill, and he's like not as skillful as he once was. And Fraser matched him, but he's still good though. And like he would have had a lot of like muscle memory there, and Fraser matched him like in that. So yeah, it was great run, great commentary. It was a lot of fun commentary, and commiserations.
It's a group of people that you would love to be with, to say the least.
Yeah, and it was like a good 20 minutes. Like I think one of those races, because I think it was just like collect as many dragons as you could in like 20 minutes, and I think any longer and you'd be like just kind of like struggling to be like, okay, cool, where are the rest of the dragons, because they're the Artisan Enjoyers, they don't go much further than that.
yeah, exactly. I was gonna say that it's like a 20-minute match for, I feel like honestly all 4 of those races is like the perfect length for them in a way, so definitely it works out in the long run, which is great.
Exactly. We then had, last but not least, the trios match for the Classic Trios Championship. So we had the champions heading in, Seath Harbour, which is Dan Davidson, Dan Tefanta, and Based Adam, Desert Monkey JK, versus Paisani Dilegaya version 2. Which is our Molloy. We've got Gentle Toradana Oswarm, Gaz, and the newly hijacked Crystal Fisher.
He was always supposed to be in the point. He's always been a paisano, as I said in the video, which I love what he did with it, by the way. It's brilliant. But what I actually said was, you finally come home, because he is a legit paisano from Volfetta in Italy. So yeah, he's come home. That's it. Sadly,
big shout out. Well, shout out to Based Adam for playing Ape Escape for about 80% of that run.
I had no idea he was that good, because I think I was one of the people who was like, yeah, let's do these like GBA games, because I thought like, oh, this is like perfect chance to like beat these guys. It was the complete wrong decision to make, because Adam is really good at the game that he was given. Like, it's just crazy. He's so good.
I remember beforehand, Gary was talking about the match, and I told him, I was like, if you finish just early, just play like a random game and just have that playing. I think it was Gary, and I told him just have that playing on the side. And I guess everyone did it, and because Adam was so far ahead, he just decided, I'm just going to play Ape Escape for 80% of the time. And he was recording the footage the whole time, so you just watch him playing that instead.
I love that too. There's like that one ISGP video a while ago where like I think someone's footage either wasn't there or like just had shit itself halfway through. So Crystal Fisher put in an episode of Nirvana the band, the show, and like slowed it down and changed the color enough that it wouldn't get striped. And it's just like really distorted episode of Nirvana the band, the show. But it's interesting to see that besides the fact Crystal Fisher has joined you, was not enough to pull a victory from the still champions, Seath Harbour.
They'll lose one of these days. So there's going to be a trio that's going to take it from them. I'm telling you, one of these days it's going to happen.
Yeah. We're not done with them. It's not over.
We're going for round 2. They're round 2.
I don't know.
It's not finito.
I'm feeling like there needs to be a punching squirrels resurgent. We've
agreed.
Conquered tag team. It's trios time.
We were taken away without our consent. We need to come back. We need to come back.
Absolutely.
Every time.
I agree with that. Yeah. It was unfair. So yeah, Mega Monk plus Amelia.
No consent. None at all. We then
no,
absolutely not.
Nah, don't worry about it.
Then had the actual.
I'm like so disappointed.
I don't want to talk about it. I don't worry about it. It's like they say that you're fine, and then you're really not fine. You know what I mean? It's like,
when you say you're fine, but you're not fine.
It's me. I'm just like.
I'm holding on your rope.
You're basically the beginning of my promo. You're just like.
Yeah, I'm just like. I can't believe it.
I literally was in my backyard filming that, like, just like this. Like, I'm so glad my dad wasn't home, otherwise he'd be like, what the fuck is happening? Like, I'm just in, like, a backyard, like, just fake crying. He's like, the fuck? We then had the actual event, which was the road to King of Spyro Style. We had 6 races for this one. This one was a bit stacked, but the first, and I'm gonna say probably the best one, was Wally versus Laura.
Yeah.
Just
Shadows extends.
I agree.
It not only gave us quality Spyro speedrunning, but it gave us a quality soundbite. Al, take it away.
Oh, right, yeah.
Yes, he did it.
That one was way better. That was way better, like, than the one I gave in the run. Because the one I gave in the run, as I said, it was not good because I was thinking about the enemies in what's it called?
Twilight
Harbor.
Right, okay. I keep calling.
They sounded similar, so that's why I got into the conversation.
Right, yeah, because it was like, and then I combined the two, but yeah, that was
it's so funny.
It was a great
I now have that
race,
video saved forever, and I just post it all the time in the server. You just every now and again you get a good old bleh.
Yeah, well, you thank Laura for that because she actually
she paused the music,
paused everything. Yeah, and it's funny because I know I think Laura will watch this. Actually, Laura, I watched your Google Drive link of it, and I DM'd in our group chat. I was like, oh, Laura, pause. That's the first thing I noticed about the entire thing was that she did that. And it was awesome, and it was just great. So many great tricks. They were just on point, nailing all these tricks, and the commentary was just the crowd was rocking. It was just. I said this before this podcast began. I genuinely think that could be the greatest ISGP race there's ever been. At least singles match wise, it's that damn good. If you want a quintessential ISGP race, that's the one that you watch. It was just awesome. So, yeah.
It is classic because you can see.
We also can't forget too. Laura made a beautiful intro for that video.
Incredible! If anything, I think we should mildly edit it, and that should be the intro for any ISGP video that we ever do. Just add a couple more people, just change the name in it, done. Bob's your uncle.
It's great, too, because this is keeping up the trend of every now and again there is an anime intro that is being edited in the style for ISGP. Because Eric did it, and then I think Danta did it. Funny enough, they did the same intro.
Yeah, they did the same thing.
Unintentionally.
They don't
That was brilliant. But then we have a new one, so...
Exactly, and it's one of those ones, you don't have any extremely white males trying to put on fake foreign accents. It's just very, very fine. We're not going to cross any boundaries. We're probably not going to get cancelled. It's a good time. But yeah, classic ISGP race, and I think it's just because it really highlights how good people are and how bad other people are. because I couldn't do any of that shit if I tried. We then had match 2, which was the Psychic Gamer versus Garth Vader, which was a singles match and doubled as an ISGP Exhibition Championship because I believe Mickey had the title as he went into the race, and he left the match with the title as well. So he defeated Garth Vader. Went for an hour.
Yeah, it was a crystal maze, if I'm not mistaken. So it was a crystal maze. It was also originally, because it wasn't ISGP. I remember this. It was an ISGP Exhibition Championship belt, whatever, defense. So they were going to do a loophole, and they were going to do Crash in the Road to King, or the King of Spyro Style. Mm-hmm. But they didn't do it because Garth was like, "Yeah, I'm really not good at Crash." So this would be very one-sided in this case. So
this was also before Super Crash League was announced. So, did they know something we didn't? To know not to do Crash because they could do it later.
I don't know. We're gonna have to message the hosts.
Is there a little bit of conspiracy? The There's a rat somewhere.
No, jeez, there's a mole.
As long as it's not a squirrel, it's fine. We then had.
I will punch him.
We then had match 3, which was me versus Charm Sky, the fabled Queen of Spyro Style. But disclaimer: Queen of Spyro Style is just a subsidiary of King of Spyro Style. It is in no way its own entity. It is part of the King of Spyro Style clan. We are just a subsidiary of it. And
I like how Andrew got very pissed at you, allegedly.
Surprise, Harley won. Who would have thought?
Yep.
She outgirl boss
that race. That race was great just because the fact that in the beginning you screwed up the supercharge from the very first challenge.
Every time. It gets me every time.
You screwed it up for like 10 minutes and you were just like, at this rate, I don't care. I'm Gerbus now.
I'm Gerbus. And we joked about me being Gerbus. And then turns out I actually was Gerbus.
Yep. It's a tough supercharge, though, you know. In all fairness, like, yeah, I can understand the.
It is, yeah. I recently redid it, so I feel for it. I feel like you can make some stupid mistake.
And it, like, really, like, if you have like a sensitive fucking controller, you're done. You're done. Like, there's no way.
Oh yeah, your controller kept unplugging or like messing up.
It just
you were like veering off.
It just kept veering. It was basically me blindfolded all over again. I was just fucking turning corners and shit. But I think
that was a fun race.
At that time, I was talking about all of Dan's 7 sisters though, and they're very distracting. Yep. So
yes, you were. You were talking about how that should be, I think, a tag team or something.
My Octo team. Me and Dan's 7 sisters.
I'm going to take a moment to call out Amelia. I helped you with the transparency of that one photo. Never made it in the video.
I know, upset. Because I couldn't fucking edit it.
It didn't take long, but she approached me and was like, "Hey, could you get this like image? Can you make it transparent so then we can?" Because she was editing the King of Spyro Style title, because for the whole Queen of Spyro Style thing, and
I'll put it here.
I
was gonna say, put it in the video. She has like a version she sent me where it pops up on the screen like very like cheaply because it wasn't fully edited, and then it was never made it to the final.
Because my issue is it was Queen, so I wanted him to edit it, and then when King of Spyro Style was coming forward, Queen would just come out of nowhere and like just cover it, but I couldn't get it in a clean light. Like it literally would come from the corner and then just go. And I couldn't figure out how I did that. So I just gave up and I deleted the whole thing. And I'm like, fuck it, I'm out. It was like one of like a shitty version of like the DVD thing, where it's like.
Oh yeah.
Right, yeah.
But like,
that's so funny.
Not good.
Were you trying to keyframe it? Was that it?
I think so. Couldn't tell you. I just clicked one place, clicked another, and it just didn't fucking do it.
Right.
So yeah, I got outgirl bossed. I went too close to the sun. I got Gerbist. And Harley won.
I want to shout out one last thing though, that actually maybe two things. One, your like e-girl thing, it genuinely was really made me laugh. I wasn't expecting that. Like, oh, your hair, like the e-girl thing she did, it just fucking. I thought it was really funny. So,
I saw that in advance too. It was so good because I was trying to help her find some fonts, which I couldn't even give her some font to use.
I helped Laura. I helped Amelia. Like,
I was like, people kept sending me the intros. Like, here's what I have right now, and it was cool.
Yeah, we
people
went
were
through
just sending me
together.
all this stuff.
Yeah, that was too funny.
That intro was amazing.
I remember I was like typing out shit and I was like, yep, that e-girl thing she did with her hair. And then like the day I was about to record, she messaged me and she was like, by the way, I've dyed my hair red, so if you were going to mention that, I was like, okay, let me figure out how I could put that in there. But my favorite, I rewatched it the other day, and my favorite is when I like took the soundbite of her saying, I think you need to see a therapist. And just chuck that in there, no context. I'm like, that one's too good. We have match 4, which was Paisani Dilegaya, the original, the tag team, versus Crass Blasters, which was G4 and Muddy Maestro for the ISGP tag team champion. Now, you guys won.
The true winners.
You won.
The true winners of the super tag league, whatever it's called.
This isn't a redemption tour. I don't know what
I can't remember. There's too many tournaments.
It literally just happened.
He's not wrong. I mean, you could say we're the real winners now. Like, that's our greatest victory ever. Like, obviously the Golden Lovers race is legendary, but like that, I mean, like, what the hell? Like, we didn't think we were gonna win that. Like, so just crazy.
You literally beat the undefeated team of the World Tag League. They beat you twice, if I'm not mistaken, right?
Yeah, they did.
It was round 1 and then round 2. So they beat you twice, and then they went undefeated the entire tournament. And you beat them.
It was actually round 1. They beat us twice because we did the match, but then there was like a mix-up with the goal. But even still, they beat us anyway. But we redid it anyway, and they beat us the second time too. So then we lost to the Cheaters in round 2. But but somehow, but you built up a lot of good lore in that match, by the way, Josh. I liked the lore building. I must compliment you on that. That was good. But if you go into the comment section of the video, you'll see that like I left some statistics, and it really comes to the lines that Muddy's just really good. And Garion really pulled us to victory. Like, I got things like Sheet Proxy. I did some things I was really happy with, like in terms of just like keeping pace, not failing challenges stupidly. Like Canyon Speedway challenge is a bit of a weird one. Icy Speedway, Paraglide, that can go horribly wrong too. So there are a lot of times where I could have like messed up even more, and I'm happy I didn't. So that was good. But it's that's it. So
that was definitely a run that Garion sounded the most comfortable in a run, I feel like, too. Because sometimes he can be very self-deprecating, or he'll be really like overly excited about doing super good stuff or what have you. But that entire run, he was just flying in a straight line. He was like, and I was watching his footage too, and even times where he was like struggling in a few sections, he was not letting it bother him. He was just doing whatever. He was having like the time of his life.
I can't remember. Were there any Garion modes?
There were, I think, there were 5, I think, right?
One was have fun. No, was that it? Yeah, I think so.
No, that was
a different one. Oh no, that's a competitive video.
That's something else. Yeah, that's exactly. There were, I think we activated a miracle art, so there was like 8 or 9 actually. Yeah, he awarded me 2, which I hadn't thought of, which I thought was pretty nice. So.
I have the video right here. If you want me to list them off, he put them in the comments for us.
Do yes.
So the Gentles, also known as Garions, Gentle Oathsworn or Garions. He did 5, which was no talismans collected, Skilo's Badlands Catback Quartet skill point, 3 Skilo's Badlands Bone Dance cutscene fully watched with monkey noises as a shout out to the monkey mind, which was great. I appreciated that a lot.
That's good. Yeah.
4 was Metro Speedway, Time Attack Skill Point. 5 was Magma Cone Party Crashers as the 65th orb in reference to the prototype that came out. So that was his 5, and then Al did 3, which was, as Gary describes it, Weird Jump in Canyon Speedway. Colossus Hockey 2 Skill Point, which is Flawless Victory, and then Fracture Hills Alchemist Flawless Victory. So yep.
Very
and
nice.
then Garion mode activation on both end was end the speedrun at the same level. So total Garion modes of 9, which was a miracle art activate, which is very rare for Garion.
That's how you know you've made it, is when Gaz will either one give you Garion modes or do Garion modes in reflection to you. So the monkey noises, incredible.
Yes,
when you make it into his splits, incredible.
The best part is too is like when he did it, the way he does monkey noises, he goes like ooh ooh ooh. So we had to figure out what was going on.
Remember I told you though, it sounds like the "hoo hoo" and Buddy Holly by Weezer. That's what it reminds me of.
So we had to figure out what was going on, and he was like, "Oh, I was making the monkey noises." This reference to the bone dance. And I was "Oh, you want me to make the monkey noises?" So I did. And
what I love is that you were like, you had to ask Eric for permission. Like he was gonna get mad at you. It was really.
Because it was during. I was like, "Hey, can I do it during when you do bone dance?" You know, because just to do it for him. And he's like, "Oh yeah, it's fine if you do." I was like, "All right, I'll do it for you. I'll do it for you, Garion."
It was awesome. One last thing on that race I want to mention before we move on. There was just a part in it where Garion was in Zephyr, and he didn't need to do this. I still don't know why he did it, but he went into the cannon and he shot a balloon and then just continued doing whatever he had to do, like for no reason. Just shot a balloon.
So he didn't even collect the gems.
No, he didn't collect the gems.
Incredible.
I like how out of all the little things you've kept it that's been in your memory bank. You're like, he did this one random thing. He shot a that's 6 Garion modes. There's 10 Garion modes that happened there. He shot the balloon.
You could say that was a Garion mode too. So that's it. I just found that so funny.
Like little things like that kind of just really make the speedruns. Like I couldn't for the life of you, like me, tell you which race it was, but the one that ended in listening to the Autumn Plain soundtrack for 2 minutes, and like you watch the end footage, and it's just 2 little Spyros just staring off in the distance, and then everyone understood the assignment, everyone was quiet, and we were just all listening to the soundtrack.
It was Dancer versus Mayo Doctor in a speed run.
I remember Dancer
they were doing a meme run, and that was the ending. Was 10 minutes at the top. So
good still.
Just relaxing.
We then had the second to last race, which was a singles match for the classic speedrunning champion, which was our own Yogamoanyo versus our own G4 Video 5. You guys played Pokemon, didn't you?
Yes, we played Pokemon Emerald. Honestly, there isn't really much to say about that race other than... I did lose. Which, it's fine. But the thing that is about that run, it is just... There's not much to say in regards to, like, what happens and stuff. It is just a chill run where we're just talking, just kind of just doing whatever, and... Nothing crazy happens, like nothing ridiculous. It's just a chill, fun, relaxing experience you just have on in the background and just listen to us. Just enjoy playing Pokemon. That's what the run was, and I lost, but it was fun. So
it's just vibes.
Yeah, it basically was just a vibe run. It was like Adam was there, but Al was like half asleep. Which is great. He basically fell asleep. At the way end, I think, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah,
because we did it really late.
I put myself on mute because I was very groggy and I wanted to signify that I was not there.
Conscious.
There, if you will. Yeah, so, but then at the end, when you said, I think Al fell asleep, I was like, oh, I'll mute just to kind of like, bring myself in. And then I went to sleep immediately. Immediately after that, I went to sleep. I was actually very tired, but
it was a very long thing. It was fun.
Yeah.
Very relaxing. If you just want to have some just you just want like a few buds just talking
it's a
to each other.
podcast run.
Just turn that on.
It was
Yeah,
a
pretty much.
podcast run,
Yeah, it is a long run. So
Yeah, it's
The
an
next one
hour
after
and
this was also-
27 minutes. Just to
Wow,
be
that's
exact.
crazy.
An hour 27
yeah,
minutes.
it took
38
longer than we
seconds.
expected. Which is crazy because
yeah.
it's funny. I actually want to mention too regarding the time on that. We had an original run, which in theory, according to like the speedruns of it, would have taken around the same time it took for us to finish it. And so we made an intentionally shorter run. It didn't really end up being shorter. Is the funny part. So it ended up being long.
Yeah.
But yeah, fun run. If you just want to chill, just watch that run. It's fun. Very relaxed.
And then we had the last, but certainly not least, we had the singles match for the ISGP Championship. We had Muddy Maestro defeating Dan Davidson. Now, Dan went in there as champion. Dan did not walk out of there as champion.
No, he did not.
The Mighty had a quick fall.
Buddy really wanted him to keep the title too.
Yeah. That was so funny.
Not enough to throw it, obviously, but
so it is too late to change this. So I'm just gonna throw it out here. We did the calculations like an hour or two after, or 3 hours maybe even after that race happened, and they adjusted the score to be Spyro 3 to be fixed because essentially it was, I think, the World Tag League, if I'm not mistaken. They fixed the Crystal Maze format to work better for Spyro 3 because Spyro 3 absolutely sucked in
I really need to
the
take
finals
this
for that. This is out for you guys. I love him, but he can still hear us. Luckily. But anyways, so they adjusted the goal to be more in favor of Spyro 3 actually, and as it turns out, Spyro 3 still got absolutely shafted, and they screwed up with the points. So though with Dan's performance, we kind of like said like I think even if he performed like if they were like equal like on points, like equal points for given what they were doing, he probably would have lost just because he didn't do enough like good enough stuff. But he was at an inherent disadvantage that they did not know of because they just assumed that whatever score they or the point values that they had would be in his favor. It was not, in fact, in his favor. But Dan doesn't feel bad about losing it. He thinks it was a fun race, and it was a fun race. It is a very relaxing one. Again, it's very, very chill, very fun. And it was just overall, I think it was fun. Again, not really in Dan's favor, but who cares when they're just having a good time, sort of thing. So
honestly,
yeah,
this has to mean that Muddy is the best.
Yeah. Yeah. Because I do think
he's had it. He's lost it. He's had it. He's lost it.
Yeah, I feel like even if the points were not even just equal, but in favor of Spyro 3, I still think Dan wouldn't have won because he did struggle a lot. If I remember, like just in general, that was like a rough race for him. While Muddy did pretty damn good, if I'm not mistaken. I think he actually did really well.
Muddy is very consistent. Like, it's insane how he very rarely makes mistakes. Like, same with the Paisani race. Like, he made barely any like, genuinely, he failed Earthshapers once, and that's really it. Like, I was struggling
he failed twice.
Like, no, he failed it once. I failed it twice. Yeah.
Oh, okay. I must be confused.
I failed it twice.
Sorry.
So that was my one chance, and I doubled up on the error that he made, funnily enough. But he's very consistent. But there's one thing he can't do, and it's beat me in Spyro 2. So, just saying.
It's true. Dialing back to the lore you mentioned that I made there in that run is he hasn't been able to beat him in Spyro 2 for the last almost like decade. And I said, if even if you're ahead of Al, but you still lose this title match, you technically have not, by pure technicality, you have not beaten him at Spyro 2. And that's exactly what happened. So there needs to be a grudge match between these two in Spyro 2. Because they need to duke it out. Or a title match.
I'm trying to strong-arm Kongus to give me a world title match. And then to give Gary a classic match as well. Yeah,
I did the same. We were in the call the other day, and Gaz was like, "I want a championship match," and I was like, "Okay." Yeah. And then I just messaged in host. I was like, "Give Garion a classic title," and they were like,
Okay.
Maybe. And Garen's
Yeah,
like,
they
I'm
really
going
just
to
like, okay.
create a video as to why I deserve it. And I was like, just tell me what you'll do, and I'll let them know, and that'll be enough. Like, don't fucking do it. He's like, I'm going to get beta proxy. I'm going to do X, Y, and Z. And I was like, no, no, don't worry about it.
Just tell me what you would do,
Don't worry
and then
about
I'll
it.
tell him.
I'll pass it along. It's fine. But going on with the Crystal Maze, like fixing Spyro 3, I was there when we tried creating like the point system, and like fucking Spyro 3 is hard to make like even because everything is so readily available. Like we made it so you could still get the same amount of total points if you did everything, but it is just a lot easier to get things in Spyro 3. It's a lot easier to get your eggs. It's a lot easier to get your gems. So like it's always going to be like Spyro 3 is always going to be like mildly OP, but like there's no way you're going to really be able to fix that without making Spyro 3
in quotations
like, kind of
mildly OP. Because again, it was undercooked for both matches when they tried to skew Spyro 3 to be in favor.
Like you can try, but it is just it's very hard to get that. I had the bingo sheet and I was like going through. I'm like, we could do cracked walls, like we could do fucking like all this sort of shit, and like regardless, it just came back to like too many points or like not enough points. You could never find that happy balance with Spyro 3 ever.
Yep.
But
cool.
it was a very fun. It was a fun run, though. I think Dan still beats himself too much over it.
Coco's
So.
come to join me.
Too cute. Wow. Look at that.
No romper cam today, unfortunately, because it is too early in the day where he doesn't want to be in my room. It's funny though, because he's like sitting like outside my door. I could hear him. If I open my door, he'll literally turn around, stare at me. I'll be like, "Come in." He'll be like, "No."
No.
Yeah. And that'll be that.
So it's too early, idiot. Like.
He'll just be like,
he'll literally say no, like his dog talks.
Then he'll walk away. He'll go.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Stupid fucking track.
And then you say romper, which is your catchphrase.
Romper! Gosh darn it.
Yeah, in case anyone's wondering, that's always like just a thing that we just associate with Josh isn't yelling at his dog, but like in a way that's like romper, like, and that's just that's just it.
And you've got one of them farts, like they're just like, oh, he farted again. It's like nasty.
Yep, I always mention that. Mostly because it smells like absolute, literal dog shit in my room. And I'm just like, hey guys, help me. You're being attacked by your cat.
That's cute as hell.
Great.
Oh man.
That's awesome. So then, what do we have next then? Because that was the entire run for King of Spyro Style. It actually got finished this time, so that's a win.
I know. Like every match technically happened.
Yep.
Which doesn't often happen. We usually lose one in the main card, but
I'm pretty sure 3 of them happened after the deadline given, but they still all happened. They all got uploaded. There was no problems.
The difference is that they like people said so. They were like, "We've got it planned. It's going to be this date." Sorry.
Yep, that is true. That is true.
Yeah,
yeah.
We were the cult.
Like Paisani, you specifically, Al. Like you had like, I want to do this match first, these 2 matches or whatever first to have this stuff done. Me and Eric, we just took forever, to be honest. Like we just said we were going to keep doing it, and then we just never did it. And then I was like, all right, we're doing it this day, otherwise we're never getting it done. So we did it that day.
Exactly.
No, it all turned out well in the end, so it's all good.
It went by smoothly, not a single problem.
It definitely wasn't like the biggest delay that we've had. I think it was like a reasonable delay, but rules are definitely cracking down for future tournaments. If you go MIA, this little shitty cat.
Oh my god, shitty cat.
Where is she? Like
there it is. The shitty cat.
Just vibing. Just having a good time. Like
that's very cute.
Having a great time. I've probably just.
Well, up next, then we have the beautiful new tournament, the Super Crash League, in extension to the Super Gex League. You might want to lower your.
I know. I'm trying to fix it.
It's
had cocoa in my hands still.
Yeah, good shout.
Yeah.
But yeah, no. Next tournament coming up. Next Super League, we had the Super Gex League last time. That was a tournament, I think. It did have the return of Mayo. It had the return of Mayo, the greatest match. That match was amazing. So
it's the only match I've watched from that tournament, by the way. I've not watched any other.
It's the only match that Angus watched.
Because I was gone.
It's the best match. It's the best match. Please.
Yeah.
It's also the only one Angus watched too. Like, I don't think he watched any other matches.
Apparently, according to him, he watched it more than once to try to figure out who won.
No one.
So
no one won. Not that game.
No one won. Oh, technically, don't tell anyone. But technically speaking, I did win just by technicalities.
Yeah.
But yeah, Super Crash League. It's going to be interesting how it's going to go through. Which I assume the next podcast will probably be right before the grand final or something.
Maybe unless a lot happens after round one.
So. Well, there's going to be a lot because it's structured to I am a speedrunner, so there's a lot of things that's going to be happening. There's the actual round one, then there's going to be the 5-way Shaggy Wagon, then there's going to be round 2, and then there's going to be the second chance afterwards. Then there's going to be the grand finals.
It's going to go forever. No wonder I've made sure that deadlines are in place. If you're watching this and you fuck up my deadlines, you're out of here.
There's going to be at least one person who fucks that up.
I've got my hand over the fucking D-roll.
Look here, it's in IS style. If somebody does not fuck it up, I will be severely disappointed. I feel like something has to go wrong because it happens every time. something has to go. Hell, if we have to like make something up, we'll do it just for the sake of authenticity.
I disagree.
Yeah, just for the sake of authenticity. If we have to do that, to keep the spirit alive of IAS, we'll do that. Like, not even a joke, because that's what happens.
Well, yes. Well, to be fair, there were drama-less tournaments. Like, IAS6 didn't have any drama. IS4 didn't have any drama. I don't think IS5 did. IS3, yeah. That's true.
Was it you that was in the highlights that couldn't remember what tournaments they were, and even though you were in it?
That was me. Yeah,
that
was
why
speedruns.
You couldn't remember because they were dramaless?
No, it was World Cup speedruns I couldn't remember because there was a World Cup speedruns 2, and then I was told that I was in it, and I was like, what? Because I didn't know I was in it, because I thought that I was in World Cup speedruns 1, but it turned out I was in 2. So when I was told I was in 2, I was like, what? I was in 1. It's like, no, you're in 2. And then they said that there was like, yeah, that's what that was. But yes, if they're dramaless, then they can maybe they are kind of hard to remember in a sense. But no, I don't know. No, IS3 was Spyro, IS4 Ratchet and Clank, IS5 Crash, IS6 Spyro, IS7 Disney.
A lot of Spyro and Crash back and forth. There was only Disney, Gex, and Ratchet and Clank were the only 3 deviations, and there were technically. I think there were technically 11 tournaments. Like, technically 11 numbered tournaments because there were 2 nines. This is my thing. I always say. Me and Al don't consider 9 and 10.
Count. Yeah, and I don't. I've come around to considering IS9 now because Angus was involved as a host. I'm like, okay, well that's kind of fair enough. But IS10 don't count. Sorry, it's just non-canon. Yeah. As I always said, that is Saved by the Bell. The new class doesn't count.
I can't wait for everybody to learn about the lore behind IAS because that runs deep. That's 10 years worth. 10 plus years.
If you enjoy podcasts, I'm fairly sure there is one that it will happen. An IAS.
We're working on it
because it popped up on Discord, and I thought they were hijacking ISG podcasts, and I was ready to riot.
It's true. She did. It was one of the first messages in that channel.
She's what the fuck is this?
I thought you guys took our channel, but no. Yeah, no. If you guys are enjoying these kind of podcasts, get ready to have these fun lore 10 plus year lore videos about the history of pre-ISGP and what it used to be until what it is now. So that'll be a lot of fun.
If you like these podcasts, 1, tell me who you want on, because I don't know.
Yes.
2, tell me what you want us to talk about. 3, tell us if you hate shit. If you don't want Coco here, I'll kick her out. Just let me know.
And 4, tell us you love us so we don't get canceled, and then we can keep the joke rolling that we're still here.
Yes, like and subscribe so we can show that we're of value to this fucking YouTube channel.
Oh God.
Coco, stop it!
Coco! It's just now chewing on my headphone cord, so we're fucking going to shit, so probably should wrap up. Does anyone have any final words? Coco, you got final words? She doesn't, and I'm making sure I don't dox my
final words I have to say is... Final words I think I have to say is, Al, join more of these goddamn podcasts! That's about it.
Well, I have a track record of things going wrong after I've done podcasts, so maybe I'll
oh my God, that's it. If we don't come back, it's Al's fault. Yeah. If this is the last one.
It's my course, yeah.
This is gonna be the beginning of the Super Crash League drama. Here we go. Let's go.
It's the hour demo.
No drama. No drama. Don't want any drama. No, I'm good about it, boy. I'll endeavor. I feel like I'm enough of a presence. I talk enough in the races to where it's like you know my opinions due to, as I say, my proclivity to talking so much. So I think that the odd podcast is good. I don't think I need to be a regular presence. But having said that, if the people, the folk like Jake Steele and Kevin Cullen,
big names.
Just wanted to drop them in there because we got some really cool loyal fans out there. If they want it, then I'll endeavor I'll aspire to be there. We also have who else? We got a Lethal Flail Fist as well.
He's gonna go down the entire sub list. Just give him about like 5 hours.
This is one person who just stood out on like the comments of like Amelia and.
I don't know what that means.
Charm Sky.
I don't know what he said, and I don't know what it means. I don't understand it.
Oh. One second, I have to, again, I'm not wearing my glasses, so I have to, fucking, squint to see what he said. What do you say? Skies, lions... Oh, yeah, I don't know what that means either, yeah.
I don't know.
I don't know.
I don't know. I don't know whether it's a hex. I don't know whether I've been cursed.
It's also funny to see someone refer to Honley as skies. It's like seeing someone refer to Fisher as crystal or something, which is really funny. What else are they gonna call her? To be fair, I get it, but it's still funny.
Or like Han, just call her Han.
Yeah.
Let me find it. I don't understand Queen of Spyro Style. There we are.
I think I deciphered their comment for the record.
Skies, lions overran Amelia's corrugated steel shack.
I think it's a joke of Australians having corrugated steel shacks mixed with the joke of Charm Sky having lions in her backyard, if you remember that. I think it is a mixture of that. So there you go.
Okay, rock on.
Really good comment when you really think about it.
Subscriber of the week then.
My head. Yeah. Fair play. Fair. What the? I just said fail flay. I meant to say fair play to Lethal Flail Fist. That's a tongue twister. Wow.
Any last words?
Flay to you.
I already said my last words. What are your last words?
My last. Yeah. I've got a last word. Blah.
Flail flay. No. Oh yeah,
blah. No,
that's fair.
Yeah, that's gonna be what's the soundbite at the end of this one.
Obviously. Anyway, everyone, thank you for watching. Thanks for putting up with another podcast. Hopefully, there is another one. We have had Al on it, so I mean, knowing his track record now, who knows what's gonna happen? So,
we'll see.
Fingers crossed. Tell us you want us back. If you don't want us back, just don't comment because I don't want to see it. But thanks for watching once again, and hope you enjoyed. Goodbye.
Bye-bye.
Goodbye.
I don't have Coco here to say goodbye, so just pretend she's here. Bye.
Yeah.